friends, I hope you grab your cup of coffee because it is Thursday, which means it is time for another coffee break. So I have my coffee freshly brewed and ready to go. But yeah, that's what I was worried about. It tastes like crap. It's kind of fitting that we have poopy tasting coffee because we're going to be talking about a book that was poopy. So to finally talk about the book that I've been mentioning since we started coffee breaks. Basically, this book sent me into a reading slump, and it was the most bizarre feeling reading this book because it took me almost a month to read it because I just didn't enjoy the act of reading this book at all. But I didn't want to DNF it because I still was interested enough to want to know how it ended. So this book, again, is Deep State. It is by Chris Haughty. I mean, I think it's kind of cool that, anyways, the cover is really cool. The premise is so interesting as well. So basically, it follows our main character, Haley, and she is like former Army. So she gets a job in the White House as an intern at the White House for the chief of staff, who very quickly after she starts gets murdered. And it's this like really interesting murder mystery where now she has to try to save the president's life. And it was such a cool idea about this conspiracy, and it was political, and it was supposed to be about this president that was like very polarizing, right? And so you're supposed to go into it feeling like, you know, this kind of models current day where some people are over here and some people are over here, and it's really hard to get everybody to meet up right here in the middle. But now like the president's life is in danger. Here was the biggest problem that I had with this book, and it was that the author, and he didn't, here's what's really weird. So this is a debut novel, but he didn't do this through the entire book. He literally just did this in the beginning. He would go on these crazy long tangents that were like telling you every time a new character was introduced, you would see where they came from, their past, and then their future, and everything that happens. Like, I just met this character. I do not care that in the future she's like a cult leader, or in the future this character ends up having an affair with like some guy in Hollywood or a politician or something and having this illegitimate baby. Like, I don't care about any of this. I read this book 2 months ago. I can't remember their names. Like, I care zip about these characters. I don't care where they came from. I don't care where they're going. All I care about is how they are relating to the story right now and the character right now. And so there's time in a book to interweave those things, or if you really want to give that information, there's time to do that. You don't need to do it where it's like, hi, this is so-and-so, this is what they look like, and they're gonna bang a congressman. Like, I don't care. I don't care. The other issue that I had is I feel like it was trying to be like an action movie, you know? So she's a badass. That's great. I love badass women. Haywire is an awesome movie with a badass chick like fighting people. There's also so many other things. Atomic Blonde. Like, I love movies where a woman can beat the hell out of a man, and if she's wearing heels when she's doing it, that's even better. But in a book, I don't need it to be so in your face. I don't need it to be so over the top. There were a couple scenes where this was done. One I will say was pretty good. Like, I don't want to give too much away, but basically she's on the White House, she chases after somebody, and she helps subdue a bad guy or something like that. And so that gets her noticed. And that's really good because she was a boxer, she was in the Army, so she is a badass chick, and I did like that aspect of the story. But then there's another scene. Again, I don't want to give away too much because I don't want to give away spoilers, but it was just like so dumb because she's driving in a car with someone and she notices something, and all of a sudden they're going from hanging out to now they're fighting while driving in a car, and there's water involved. So it's just ridiculous. Like, even seeing that stuff in an action movie is kind of like, okay, but also it's like an action movie, so it's like whatever. I don't need that in my fiction books. Like, I go to a book because I want it to be a little bit more grounded in reality. There was also like, I just don't feel like there was a lot of character development involved whatsoever. Like, I didn't even really care that much about Haley until almost the end. when everybody's been screwing her over. I should feel like I care about her at the beginning. There was really only one character that I really liked, and it was Asher, and he was one of the people she worked with. I adored him. I loved him from like moment one, and he was the only one I really cared about. Here's the biggest thing. So I kept reading this book because I wanted to see how it ended. It got good at the last 30%. Like the last 30% of the book. So the first 70% was just nail biting trying to get through it. The last 30% I couldn't put it down. Like I got it, it ended, and then it ended kind of dumb. Like I feel like it had this like sweet spot where it was really good, and then it just got stupid. We'll read something with this author again because it was his debut novel, so I do want to try something out from him again in the future. Hopefully he will have learned not to go on long tangents and really derail you from the story. And if he can write like the last 30% through the beginning 70, it would be an amazing book. So that is it. That is my coffee break chat with you about a book. I don't know what I'm gonna call this. I'm either gonna chug this coffee or throw it out. And with that, I've got to go back to work. So you go write some words and read a book, and I will see you guys very soon.